I decided to use MIDISID here in a mode that I don't use so often, and since I'm using a powerful feature that may be a little bit hidden, I thought I'd make this partly a tutorial. I'll play the track first and then go into some of the techniques. This time I'm using MIDISID as an external instrument and sending pure MIDI from the DAW. I have 6 tracks here, each sending to one of the 6 voices of the 2 SIDs in here, and so playback happens just once in real time. No audio has been recorded in the DAW. I've just captured that from the back of MIDISID so that you can hear it. The feature that I mentioned is automation of some of the parameters using MIDI-CC, continuous controllers or control change, take your pick. For this piece, I'm mostly automating the filter cutoff on the bass, but I've added program change messages and some other controllers too. I'll go into those. I'll also mention a couple of pitfalls that I personally experience with this version of Logic and the workarounds for those. In order to use MIDISID in this way, I'm using General MIDI mode, which maps 6 MIDI channels to its 6 voices. Since the percussion is traditionally MIDI channel 10, that's mapped to one of our voices, and MIDI channels 1 to 5 go to the remaining 5 voices. General MIDI mode is the default mode, so there's nothing to do but switch it on. In fact, the ability to control parameters with CC messages means that you can use MIDISID headless. I didn't use the screen or knobs at all in this project. I am only familiar with the DAW I use, which is Logic Pro. I know a lot of users use other DAWs, such as Ableton. I think they all have pretty much the same features, it's just the terminology that may be a little different. Please feel free to post helpful comments below if you have knowledge of another DAW that you want to share. In Logic, I create an external MIDI track. This means that the notes and other messages within that track will send to this device, which is my USB to MIDI adapter, the other end of which is plugged into MIDISID, on this channel. As mentioned, I've set up 6 of these, sending to different channels corresponding to MIDISID's 6 voices. A program change message at the start of each sets a default instrument for that track or voice, and note that in some cases I've modified that instrument. For example, I wanted the decay and release values of the Glock to be a little different. Instead of using the program change, you could use these CC messages to completely define a patch of your own. Also note that I've used more than 6 instruments in the music by using program change messages to switch between different patches within one track. This is where the lead sound is, and also these arpeggiated chords which actually use the harpsichord patch. I'm also using a control message to turn the arpeggiation on and off at the start and end of those chords. One problem that was a little difficult to get to the bottom of was Logic's MIDI chase settings. Chase means that Logic will repeatedly send program changes and certain other control messages from previous regions. There are reasons why you might want to do that, but it's a nuisance for our purposes today because any program change will overwrite and undo other settings and parameters that we've sent. It becomes a mess and certain things appear not to work properly. So the main feature of this music is the bass synth sound, which has an automated filter cutoff. First I played in the notes. That's all there is to that. Here's where you can automate certain things, including the CC of your choosing. In MIDISID, CC 74 is the cutoff frequency, and it's easy to draw a straight line from nothing to full. Note that what I'm creating here is a filter sweep, and it would be possible to just switch that on with appropriate parameters, again using CCs, but this method gives lots more control. I think that's everything I wanted to show you. I hope you enjoyed the music. If you're so inclined, I hope it inspires you to make some music of your own.